When last we left our heroes, Nara the Drow Sorceress, Wolfgang the Angelic Warlock, Danir the Catman Wizard, and Asmo the Sneckman Stab Boy, they had finally been reunited, from Wolfgang and Nara's perspective anyway. Having lost the Danir they had traveled the apocalyptic future with, they found themselves falling through the time tree and surfacing in the midst of their battle with the Chronosaur. Along with the past versions of Danir and Asmo, they managed to fell the creature and found the old gnome, Grabthar, had somehow survived within the beast's belly. Through a series of revelations, Nara and Wolfgang did their best to explain what had happened and the importance of their mission to the very confused Asmo and Danir. With a second chance on the table and so much at stake, where will they go from here? And why is Nara's Tango Muerte acting so strange? So the night rolls on. Asmo and Nara still kind of sitting outside by the fire. Wolfgang, Danir, and Grabthar are inside Danir's tower. Is there any business anybody would like to take care of before settling in for the evening?
I can't think of anything.
Your night's been very confusing, yeah.
We had our talk.
Yeah.
The only thing that I can think of would be to have the dream session with Wolfgang to try to figure out and learn more about everything going on.
Yeah.
All right. Grabthar would thank you for the hospitality and just try to find a little nook for himself to kind of like cuddle into, this being the first night's sleep he'll have without it being inside of a Tyrannosaur's stomach in a very long while. So, as you two settle in, getting ready for Danir's ceremony, you help Wolfgang settle into a deep trance and slumber as you begin to travel into his mind. You see yourself standing in a blank expanse, Wolfgang, the surrounding area, kind of a void swirled with motes of light and flickering color. The best, like the only way that your conscious mind can comprehend the inner workings of your brain, basically. As you look around and feel, you see behind you, Danir, are you in your Somnium Vagus attire?
He has the cloak, but he doesn't have the mask.
All right, so Danir in a shimmering cloak of stars floats down behind you. As you see him, the area around you kind of begins to ripple with like a luminous green and yellow kind of ripple pattern as it shimmers around as your brain becomes stimulated.
Hello. Some.
That's a weird way to say it, but he tilts his head just a moment. Welcome to your mind. Or at least the dormant parts of your mind. This is where... What?
Feels a little bit silly calling you anything other than Danir.
As you say Danir, images and flashes of memories you've had with Danir kind of like circle around you. Most of which are very familiar to you, Danir, but a few of which, where you're dressed kind of differently, don't seem to resonate with you at all.
You see, as the image of Danir presenting his new outfit that looks a lot like Wolfgang's own, just a sense of pride almost emanates from that one image.
gives a little bit of a smile. Ah, I see. Interesting. What else have you seen, Wolfgang?
Guess we'll start shortly after we made it to Lona Throned.
All around you, Denier, you see a massive cityscape, something far beyond, and like technology far beyond anything you've ever seen kind of pops up around you. A massive fountain erects before you as if you're standing in the midst of a kind of a wondrous promenade. The building architecture seems beyond anything that construction technology could possibly have erected in the world around you. This place is advanced.
This is it, isn't it? Lona Throne.
Mm-hmm. City of the Elves.
So this is where they all ran off to.
Time moves differently there. They can go centuries before we even experience a few years, maybe. Hard to remember the specifics of it, but suffice to say, time moves a bit oddly in Lona Throne.
So it runs with a principle similar to the Sea of Dreams. Time passes more slowly inside of the realm of dreams.
He sort of shrugs his shoulders.
Denier looks around slowly. Fascinating.
As you continue to remember your time in Lona Throne, the images flash before you. The passage to the Arcanos Academy for the High Arcane, the classes that Wolfgang participated in, the meeting with Fezziwig, the confrontation with Ramses, and the eventual expulsion and shunting of everybody during Project Exodus.
During the confrontation with Ramses, Denier seemed to just walk around the scene, almost looking over everything.
You notice a particular prominence displayed as Asmo gets banished from the scene within the embrace of that devourer demon.
So that's what happened to your Asmo.
Had a plan, and it didn't work.
The area goes black, and in the darkness rises these funky, luminescent, rock-like mushrooms. And surrounding everything are these horrible eldritch creatures, much akin to the ones that you had faced in the cave when assisting the fairies, but some of which you had never seen previously. You watch as you encounter Tom, a younger Tom, as Nara befuddles a socially awkward beholder, and as the lot of you battle an elder brain and use the hatching of a baby Chronosaur to escape back into a world you would hope would be your own, but turned out to be a post-apocalyptic nightmare. You see the landscape around you, the once familiar area of Amber Glade, as it is nothing but burnt ash, burnt trees, dead, lifeless fields. A land where dragons fly the skies and demons prowl the night.
What happened?
Between the demons and the dragons, they hardly stood a chance. The greater civilizations that we've come to know ruins. The only thing that was left was Dragon's Rest. Kylum Diaboli managed to hold up
As
for
you
that
say,
long, at least.
as Wolfgang mentions Kylum Diaboli, Venariel, the grown-up form of Wolfgang's son Elliot, and all of the soldiers that stand at their side begin to pop up behind him. All of them look weathered, weary.
I taught them how to be survivors. And they did just that. But not all of them.
You watch as a few of the faces disappear from among the crowd, including one that was standing next to Elliot. A young man with very pale skin, black hair, and very pronounced facial features. Very pronounced bone structure in his face.
Given Daenerys' time in the North, can I recognize that this man has some kind of vampiric lineage?
You can give me an Arcana check.
Okie doke. 22.
Yeah, he looks like he is of vampiric lineage, at least partially.
I didn't realize that you accepted vampires into the Kylum Diaboli, Wolfgang.
Wasn't my choice. It was Elliot's. He grew up to be a fine man. One that I'm so damn proud of.
Which of the families did it come from? The Blackthorns or one of the others?
Vile blood. She
His
escaped,
eyes.
remember?
Yeah. I remember. I hucked a fireball at her as she was fleeing.
I remember calling down a ray of sunlight trying to incinerate her. I didn't know she was pregnant. She's out there. Somewhere. Lost, homeless, afraid, and trying to care for an unborn child. Something I bet she thought was never even possible.
Who
But
knows how many she's killed so far to try to tend to it. They ate half of Silver Rock.
still. And the image of vile blood fades and is replaced by an image of a pregnant Akazi. Still.
Kind of standing at her back is a pregnant Venariel. almost kind of in like a mirror pose, back to back.
She's done vile things. Hell, it's in her fucking name. But the child doesn't deserve the punishment that comes for her. And for an immortal being, I think redemption can eventually come. But right now, I don't have the stomach for it. I don't have the stomach for trying to chase her down and kill her. Especially knowing the kind of man her son becomes.
I can see that. So you're thinking just leave her be for the moment? Find her eventually? Or do you want to try to talk her down and try to bring her back?
I don't know if she'd even be willing to talk. They killed her husband, after all.
True. But who knows what's going on up north, especially with the Archmage fallen like he has.
Right. Back on track.
What's the next piece you wish to reveal? Just chronological?
That now that the North was brought up, he'd probably summon an image of the Archmage and sort of place it in Mitternacht.
You don't have a very good idea of where he is within Mitternacht, but
Yeah.
you see a image of the Archmage kind of like surrounded by translucent crystal. You also see brief images of his head swimming in a jar as he's reading a scroll.
Float on by. He's in there.
He actually takes him as the head floats by. He actually stops and double takes the head.
Something tells me that Elliot didn't have time to take the whole thing. Ellie hardly had time to get out of there.
But he did get out of it though, right?
You see a crispy, charred corpse.
Wolfgang actually winces and doubles over seeing that image again.
The whole dream world seems to shudder. But the most surprising thing that you see in this ordeal, Denier, is when Solomon is the one to raise him. Right before he gets his head lobbed off by Nara, wielding a massive shadowy scythe.
Wow. Just I don't know what to say with this. He tilts his head as he wanders over and he looks the weapon over slowly. Then he looks...
It was all kind of a blur.
As you glance over the weapon, you see flashes shooting by, kind of in Nara's eyes, of an old Asmo. And then they just sort of fade away, and the spirit in Nara's eyes fade with it.
He just stares at Nara for a second. You've all been through so much. I can see the pain. What do we need to do to stop it, Wolfgang? To stop this from happening?
First and foremost, I think, when we got there initially, pretty much as we were stepping out of the portal, they were just wrapping up a mission to blow up that cannon.
I remember you mentioning that. I take it that you never learned how to remove the souls of the arcane innate from within it?
I don't think they had that luxury.
All right. So we take down the cannon. You said the dragons and the demons have been fighting. I take it that all four have been fighting the demons?
The demons...
You find yourself in the lair of Needhog. Lava boiling around you, steam striking you from every angle.
had a big obstacle.
He's gotten bigger.
Needhog towers above you. And then leaping down from atop the volcanic caldera, the jester lands on his head. He just kind of stares down at you.
Don't know how the jester learned of Garrick's connection to my family. He needs Connolly blood to establish some sort of connection, take over the mind of Needhog.
You see the sigils painted on Nidhogg's arms as he gets locked down to the ground and falls asleep. You watch as you and Yorick, a much older, grizzled, battle-weary Yorick, pass out as you seemingly jump into Needhog's head. And you watch as the jester gets decapitated. His head flying through the air and landing at the foot of Needhog.
There's a lot of corruption inside of him, Wolfgang.
I know.
But they're still good. Somehow we have to be able to end the corruption that's inside of him, purge it from him.
He smiles faintly. I know.
Gives a little smirk. Looks like I might be seeing Ego in it again. I wonder how they're doing.
None of that means much of anything to you, Wolfgang.
Yep.
Can't claim to know exactly what you're talking about, but I assume they're allies of yours.
2 guardians I left inside of Nidhogg's head to protect what's left of Garrick.
You mentioned you had set up defenses, but no particulars.
Yeah, I managed to set up a barrier inside of his head with 2 guardians to protect what's left of him. Wasn't easy, but this happened right before the desolation happened. So we have to deal with the cannon. We have to deal with Nidhogg. We have to deal with the Jester. And we have to deal with Ramses.
Ramses and his pack of demons. Which, interestingly enough, they seemed divided. Elliot
Divided?
told me that there was some sort of internal conflict brewing. A second power.
You see as behind Wolfgang and all of the demons that he's witnessed, standing kind of above and behind them, you have the image of Ramses. The most recent image he has in his head of Ramses. And an image of the Jester standing behind on the other side.
So you think it's Palto and the Jester fighting for control of the demons?
The Jester in your head is basically the only approximation you have to what could be Asmodeus's actual form, so...
Yeah. I think he saw flashes of it in when he was interrogating Fezziwig's soul.
Yeah, behind so behind the Jester, you also kind of see, like, very faintly this large, glowing crystal, like red crystal skeleton.
We went into the maw with a plan to try and rip the divinity out of Ramses or whatever he had become. When we went, we walked into the tree.
You went into it?
We went inside, and we found nothing. The remnants of something that might have been inside, taken from the inside out.
You see as you float through the hollow opening of the gnarled white bark, your fur begins to bristle, Denier, as this is not a happy sight for you.
Yeah, no. He's getting a little bit twitchy and nervous.
Wolfgang will raise up a hand and then just knock on the bark, and it'll sound hollow.
Tunk, tunk, tunk.
Was this before or after you killed the jester?
After.
Lani, with Daenerys' knowledge, knowing that Red was in the amulet which had a piece of the crystal in it, and he's made comments to Daenerys linking himself to the crystals. Can I roll any kind of intelligence check to piece together that after killing the jester, he could have gone to another amulet? Or is that, or has Daenerys not gotten enough pieces of that puzzle yet?
At this point in time, there is a lot of things that have been hinted at towards you. You could honestly make that guess, but it's, I guess, make an Arcana check.
Okay. I'm trying not to use the information that Daenerys Prime knows. 26.
You have, well, here's the thing. A lot of this information was stuff that you had been given previously.
Mm-hmm.
And it being kind of like fresher in your head as you're getting some of this information through Wolfgang as well. Mm-hmm. I'd say that you can surmise that the consciousness of Red has the ability to move through these crystals, but that can also be kind of like a weakness. Like he can find himself trapped in one either via contract, like through what Fezziwig did, as he's contracted as a patron in that situation, or via some sort of ceremony or incantation, like you did, well, like you found in the West when he was attached to that elephant centaur, or the rhino centaur.
You know, a thought occurs to me. You remember how he could always hop, how he was attached to that one centaur, and then after that he got out and he went back to Fezziwig.
Vaguely.
I think he can hop from crystal to crystal. And if we can do it just right, we might be able to somehow trap him in one of those crystals. Or, like, lock him down. Because while he was with me and messing with me, Fezziwig was fine, right? Or at least somewhat.
I think so.
Yeah, you recall that was the time when he was able to turn himself in and try to get help for himself, but then as soon as everything was over there, it started to get worse for him again.
So, you killed him. Somehow or another, the mind of Red jumped from that crystal to here, because these gems, the ones that Ramses put together was the skull of this beast, jumped over here and he broke out? Was the magic that Fleetfoot had too weak and he just got out?
The evidence seems to show that it was outside help that pried out the bones.
No. Daenerys just wandering around the tree looking inside of it. No. That can't be it. It had help somehow. It got the bones out. which means... And you said the demons were hearing a second voice.
Something to that effect.
Huh.
It's fuzzy.
So, what we might need to do is, as soon if we kill the Jester again, we might have to go to the maw and go to this tree and set a trap, because something pulled it out, and if something came down after it, we might be able to set a trap for him and find out what it was that got this thing out.
We need to get down there first, and something tells me it might be a bit more populated than when we went. But
Very
it's
true.
possible.
You begin to travel back out of the tree of the maw.
That'll bring us back. Sorry, you're gonna say something?
I was gonna say you see the last events transpire where the three of you, well, the you that was there, Wolfgang and Nara reunite with Pip and Lush, and you see Old Man Lex, who has taken on the powers of the Green Seer. You travel down to the desolated islands from where you were born, and you find Tom and the Wandering Weasel. You travel the Time Tree, and then you see Wolfgang and Nara as they stare at a squirrel and fall through the branches.
Okay.
It's as accurate a it's as accurate as I can give.
It's just upsetting. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
And that'll bring us back to current day.
Denier gives a nod. So, we've got a lot of work ahead of us. And I expect not a whole lot of time to do it, since who knows how long we've been in the time mists.
I think it was like a month we were in there.
It was about 3 months.
About 3 months we were in there.
But that was the last time you exited. You're not sure about now.
When we exited, it was about 3 months that had gone by. Though we made our way out in a bit less time than the last time we went through, with Grabthar's help. So, probably a bit less than 3 months, I would say.
I can probably get us back to, since we're out of the mists at the moment, I can probably get us back to Dragon's Rest if we need to. If we have more important things than going to Arcanos. Though, knowing what we know now, Arcanos might be a great benefit. But at the same time, I don't know what brings Ramses to Lona Throne. But you said that Ramses eventually becomes the Bleeding God because of this situation, right?
He was on board during Project Exodus, the initial launch of it, and I guess something went wrong or went right. I'm not entirely sure. We were thrown into an infinite expanse, and I guess when Ramsey stayed there, he mutated. Did Denier say that he was unintentional beacon for Ramses?
You know that he said that everything was his fault a lot after what happened. You know that he blames himself heavily at the very least.
Daenerys just stares out into the expanse for a little bit. Then there is no good left in him. I know what I have to do. Enjoy them while you can, for I will take them from you one by one until you are alone. He looks towards Wolfgang. That's what he said to me. If we go to Lano Throne, I'm going to be ready for him.
Hopefully we'll all be a bit more prepared this time around. Plus, I got some pretty great fruit.
You see his trees pop up around you.
Like that.
And each of them are growing a smoothie.
Oh. Bad news is that the bottom third of it is now just liquid.
You just gotta stir it a bit.
But
Found
it tastes
smoothie
like
trees?
whatever you want. It's a fruit that tastes like whatever you want.
Huh. I wonder if I can make those in the dream realm.
He sort of like pads his coat. One of us was given a seed, I think. I think that might have been Nara.
You know, a thought occurs to me.
Hmm?
I have a dryad companion. I wonder if we can get a hold of any of those seeds and then give them to her. She might be able to do something with them.
Maybe after all of this is over, start up a successful fruit conglomerate.
I mean, worst case scenario, if I need to, I'll start a business where I sell Noble's dreams.
Bit out there, but I'm sure there'd be some market for that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Having gleaned the information from the future that Wolfgang has to offer, is there anything else you wish to do while inside of his brain?
I'm going to take Wolfgang back to his mental palace. The place that I made for him with the
picture, the painting?
With the painting of Akazi. It's very similar to his house in Dragon's Rest, but it's got some nice modifications to it. And
The
he's
walls
just-
begin to erect around you, and you find yourself in your cozy house.
Thank you for showing me, Wolfgang.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten far enough yet, but he looks up towards the portrait. I will. And he vanishes. He leaves Wolfgang in his mind palace for the evening.
You find yourself sitting alone in a mind palace.
It happens.
And I want you to make me a wisdom save. As you continue to sleep.
Oh, right.
Oh boy!
I forgot about this.
Yeah.
But what?
I dropped a lot of foreshadowing last time I did this.
There's a 25.
You feel uneasy for a moment. But the feeling seems to pass. Denier might have left, but you feel as though there is another presence lingering the edges of your mind. You hear a knock on your front door.
All right. Go over to my front door, and do I have like an eye hole or like a peering hole? Look out.
It's your mind palace.
Yeah, probably. I'd look through the glass, seeing eye hole.
There is a massive eyeball staring back at you.
No, Void's looking back. It's not good.
It blinks slowly.
Does it look familiar?
As familiar as any giant eye can, I guess.
I'll just like open the door just a crack. What do you want? No solicitors.
Oh my god.
As you look out, the eye moves back, and you see a large, gaunt purple face staring inward. This face you do recognize as the giantess atop the mountain.
Oh, see you again.
You are an abnormality.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Her large hand moves up, like her hand's bigger than your front door, and her index finger pokes in a little bit, pointing at your lapel, where the crest of the Academy for the High Arcane sits. I have not met you before, yet you have made it past me.
Not quite, but someone else does.
You speak in riddles. I await you at the summit. May your explanation bear better fruit. And she fades from view.
He just closes the door, goes to sit on his couch.
There's a whiskey sitting by you on the table.
Just takes a big swig.
And you sleep through the night.
Too fucking old for this.
Too old for this shite.
He says, being 35.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Denier, as you leave the Mind Palace and you begin traveling around, you also feel the presence of another entity, but it does not make itself known to you as of yet, as you continue to travel the dreamscape. Nara and Asmo, each of you eventually fall asleep and or drift into a trance at some point.
I'm gonna assume we're both like it's like we're both got like two blankets wrapped around us and we're like right beside the fire. One of those situations. Like, oh, they slept that way, even though no one can. You know how movies are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nara, I want you to provide me a wisdom save as well.
Okay. A wisdom save?
Mm-hmm.
That's so fun.
That's so Raven.
That's so Raven.
Mm-hmm.
11.
As you drift down into your trance, Nara, the craziest sense of deja vu wipes over you as you begin to kind of feel this trembling at the edges of your mind. And then, as this darkness begins to envelop you, kind of coasting out of it. Sorry, I lost my music.
Can't believe you just made a mistake.
I have made so many mistakes in my life. This one is the worst. I wish to be punished for it. Coasting from the darkness, hands held aloft to his side, coasting out like Nosferatu.
Oh shit.
Solomon sits before you. There you are.
She just stares at him.
Something's off. You've been here before.
Huh. Imagine that.
I want you to make a perception check.
Perception, you said?
Yes.
22.
The eyes that are normally galaxies seem to be those of a normal humanoid, and they look very perplexed as they kind of like, as Solomon kind of cocks his head and just looks at you.
Like human eyes?
No. You have been here before. What? How
Why
have you...
do you look different?
How have you been here? How have you met me, but I've never met you?
What are you talking about?
Solomon fades back into the blackness, and two massive purple hands come and grab you and rip you from the darkness, face to face with a large giantess.
Oh, no.
You have traveled this mountain before. Explain.
Some time stuff happened? That was kind of an important conversation I was in the middle of.
The face of the giantess turns into Solomon's.
Okay. Is this what we're doing?
You are in the testing grounds. You have faced this test before. Explain.
Yes, and I passed. Who am I talking to?
I want you to make a history check with advantage.
$18, good thing.
The name is kind of coming to you. You remember the giantess at the top of the mountain.
Oh, the feathered swishy lady.
Yes, feather swishy lady. It begins
Right.
with a T. Tira.
T-
Tira.
So is this happening in her head?
Yes.
You had the feather. We did the feather thing.
The eyes widen further.
What? Why are you so upset?
In all of my years guarding these sacred lands, to come across two in one night, to vex me so. Is this some trick?
No, it's not a trick. There's some time fuckery.
I await you at the summit. And like that, poof, she's gone.
Oh, man. Hope she doesn't throw me off the side.
Asmo, make me a wisdom save.
I fail. No.
You passed last time. It was kind of funny.
Jan can shoot. 19.
You pass again. You dream
Oh
of the
my
things that
God.
Asmo dreams of.
Oh my god.
It's like I don't even know what he would dream of. He'd just be like, oh man, imagine, waking up with a skip in your step. I don't fucking.
He's like, deep diddy.
Asmo dreams he's in like a 1930s rubber hose cartoon, just walking around, waving at the sun, tipping his hat to things.
Wacky
Wow.
Wookie time travel starts happening in the dream,
Oh no.
and that's what just that aw shucks look at the cam. He's just assuming in his dream that Nara's having a wonderful dream as well, with no problems whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
Nothing untoward is happening.
So why, you aren't dreaming about me? I just tell
Oh.
you that I had the worst experience in the world and you're not dreaming about me right now?
There's just like a Betty Boop Nara and Asmo's dream, blowing kisses at him.
Boop boop.
Oh my
be-doop.
god.
Denier, you travel the dreamscape for a while and end up back in your mind palace, but and here's the first time I'm going to use this mechanic. I want you to make Denier Prime make me an arcane check.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay.
Denier Prime gets an arcane check. Denier Prime has a 21 arcane check.
That's
I opened up both sheets at the same time. I'm currently current Denier, but I opened up Denier Prime sheet.
that's the plus 10 one. Interesting. I figured that one would be labeled. Oh, never mind. It only goes by what you're currently playing as. Okay, never mind.
Right, my character portrait.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you gotta select it in the drop-down menu.
No worries. If you want to do that shit in the future, that's cool. As
Oh yeah,
long as you're keeping track of it.
Yeah, I will make the change before I make the rolls in the future.
As you're traveling through your mind palace, you make it through your room of victories and regrets, was it?
Yes, like triumph and loss or something like that. Victory
Yeah, your
and
room
loss,
of
something
triumphs. Triumphs and loss. And a few of the paintings on the walls have changed.
Denier stops and he pays attention to them, and namely what side of the room that they're on.
On the side of loss, you see hanging like a vast oil painting. It almost looks like a window looking out into an expanse of the dead earth of the post-apocalyptic future. As you walk toward it, you see the landscape shift as you fly, as it, like, the perspective of it flies northward, and you see this red gas seeping across the land. And amidst the gas is a kind of a stick bug-like figure with red glowing eyes and a jagged smile.
Denier tilts his head to the side. What is this? Something far to the north. He steps forward and he stares at this stick bug figure. Did Wolfgang tell me anything about a stick bug figure or some kind of gas in the north?
Nope.
How big was the stick bug figure?
In the gas itself, the silhouette of it looks like it might be about 7 or 8 feet tall.
Oh no. I hate stick bugs.
And you watch as crawling out of the miasma surrounding it are these deformed creatures, some of which look kind of familiar to those that you have come to associate with the bleeding god. Some look very much akin to the hellhounds that you have fought. Some look like the creatures that Wolfgang showed you in his dreams, and some look different still.
This sounds like something straight out of the warp. Oh, fuck. Oof.
And you can see as the perspective pulls back that mist is spreading from the far from Iceforge and is beginning to crawl southward. The oil painting then shifts back to one of your previous defeats.
He stares at it for a few long moments. Message received. And he goes back about his business, thinking about what he's just seen.
As you turn to go back about your business, suspended in the air in front of you is the mask of Somnium Vagus. It floats for a moment, as if only to startle you like an asshole, and then clatters to the ground at your feet.
Lie down. Lie down.
He'll jump as soon as he sees the mask just floating there, and as soon as it clatters to the ground, he stares at it, reaches over, picks it up, and looks at it. Huh. With the mask in hand, he will continue about his business for the evening.
You two get a knock at your door.
Daenerys will go out to the beginning of the door, and he will wave his hand to make the door appear translucent.
As you look out the door, a very exasperated giantess is looking inward at you, kind of glancing up and down.
Good evening. And he will wave his hand, and as he does, the shape of the mind palace will warp and shift to accommodate her and allow her in.
She seems kind of taken aback at that, actually, but she will walk in the house. You are traveling with abnormalities.
He gives a bit of a nod. You could call my traveling companions abnormalities, yes.
She glances around your mind palace. You are well versed with this realm.
I've been spending quite a while studying it. You are one of the very first that have ever approached this place, this little portion of the Sea of Dreams that I call my own. In the material plane, I am Daenerys, but here, I like to call myself Somnium Vagus.
Why?
It means dreamwalker, dream traveler.
I am Tyrithul, guardian of the sacred land of the elves.
Ah. You are the protector of Lono Throne.
Yes. You have seen visions of it. I can glean from you.
Correct.
Your two companions, they have traveled this path before.
Also correct.
This is very strange for me. I await at the summit.
Very well. We shall be along shortly. And he gives a respectful bow.
She gives a curt nod. Farewell.
Farewell, Tyrithul.
Denir the Somnium Vagus. She makes her way out of your house, and your house shrinks back to normal proportions.
There will be no, he will give no issues, no problems to her as she leaves, and she will be allowed to leave, as an honored guest.
All right. And as each of you drift off and sleep/trance for the rest of your evening, here's where we will take a break. Hey guys, Lani here. I just wanted to thank you for rolling with us. And if you wanted to catch us live, you can do so almost every Monday at 5 o'clock Central Time over on twitch.tv/Lanipator. Now, back to the show. All right, so you all awaken the next morning, Asmo having had the best sleep. Denir, the difference between being awake and being asleep to you is... it's not even that different these days, honestly. You just don't feel tired in either sense now.
Yeah.
Your physical body is refreshed, though.
Should have slept outside. My neck hurts. As was cracking his neck.
Wolfgang,
like I am in real life.
Wolfgang, upon waking up, I want you to make me a charisma check.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Wow. That
All of your powers go off as they should, and there is nothing wrong.
Oh boy. Da-da-da-da.
Everybody gets their temporary hit points.
Yep. That is 11 for
11?
all of you and 17 for me.
Shouldn't it be 12? You're level 12, right?
I gotta read this. Temporary hit points equal to half my warlock level plus my charisma modifier.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
So 11.
Nice. Do we remember the dream?
Yes.
Okay.
Asmo is the only one that did not dream of Giant.
Hey, Asmo, did you have a weird dream by chance?
To define weird, I'd argue that, my day yesterday was pretty weird.
Did you have a giant purple woman show up in your dreams?
Asmo thinks this is a trap of some kind.
That's fair.
If I had, what would that mean?
There we go.
That-
This is good. This is good.
That a giantess was trying to ask why you're on this path to the elf town?
No, I did not have a dream like that. It was weird. It was like another time.
Why, have you dreamt about purple women before?
I don't know how meta do you want to get right now.
Asmo's voice shifts.
And now the fourth wall is just obliterated in this moment.
You all look up and you see people staring at various computer screens.
I can't say that I had. I'll be honest, I don't really remember. It was like a dream, and we were all bobbing around, but there was no giant purple lady. If anything, there was like an absence of color.
Weird. You have weird dreams. Oh, I did. Solomon showed up.
Asmode looks around.
Like, where? What?
No, sorry. In my head. Like, in my dream. But he wasn't quite as I remember him.
Uh-huh.
His eyes were different. Do you remember what Solomon's eyes look like?
Now tell me, Nick, what does Asmo remember?
Well, I mean, Asmo would have a very hard time forgetting the swirling galactic vortexes staring into his soul, probably through his soul.
Well, I mean, like, there was this blackness, but with, like, flecks of light. It's like, I don't even know. Like, his eye, you really get lost in him, and I think that's intentional.
Yeah. But that wasn't a thing this time. He looked worried. Which makes me happy, but I want to know why.
Just checking. Nara realizes that it was the giantess using Solomon as a
Does not
puppet.
realize.
Okay, cool.
So no.
The giantess was using an image of Solomon?
Yeah, basically as a test.
No.
But that failed when she lost her composure.
Wait, so when did the purple lady... Wait, no, hold on, I'll roleplay this out, hold on.
Okay, so Solomon showed up. When did the purple lady show up exactly? What was going on with those two? Were they hanging out? Were they?
No, they weren't hanging out. He just showed up, and then he was gonna ask me something, but I was really pissed at him because of all the stuff that we went through before. And then he said that I'd been there before, and then the purple lady showed up, and then I got mad because I said it was an important conversation, and then I guess she wore Solomon's face. Oh wait, she did this last time. Oh. This was her test. Yeah. Never mind. It wasn't Solomon, don't worry about it. Glad you slept well.
Asmo doesn't know if this is a test or not.
You were tested, huh?
Yes.
What if this is a dream?
What do you mean?
That's the only one way to tell.
Asmo slaps himself across the face.
Okay, no. I'm very much awake.
From inside the tower, you smell the smell of cooking meats.
Hey, Nara, I'm gonna go get some food. You want anything? You want to come with? You want to...
Asmo's like, he's starting to get drool in the corner of his mouth.
Attention span hasn't changed at all. Let's go get breakfast.
It's a feeding day.
Inside the lounge/kitchen, you see Grapthar cooking up a skillet of bacon and what appears to be a large raptor egg.
What's that?
Bacon and eggs! Haven't had proper breakfast in a while.
Right. How'd you get one of those?
He slaps the pack by his side. Bag of holding! Never leave home without it!
How long has that been in your bag of holding? Didn't you just pop out of Lil Ass's mouth? Well, not Lil other.
His eyebrow like crooks for a moment.
Do we even have a pan big enough to float that? I heard you have to float an egg, and somehow it will tell you if it's
No,
good or bad.
it could be scrambled. It can be scrambled.
You know what? You can have the first plate.
I like my dinosaur egg scrambled.
Breakfast is served up. It looks fine.
Sniff check.
Go ahead and give me a survival check.
$16.
Smells fine.
Taste check.
Grapthar is currently eating away, but taste check, I guess perception?
She's more apprehensive because now she's weird about dinosaurs being food. 14.
Tastes like pork.
Immediately forgets that she has any kind of inclination about that and scarfs it down.
Alright, everybody can have breakfast on Grapthar.
Yeah!
Polishing list.
By Grapthar's
what the
hammer, this is
fuck
a
was-
great breakfast.
By Grapthar's skillet. What a bargain.
What a great deal.
By Grapthar's hammer. What a savings.
What a savings. Jesus, what a bad line.
Rip Alan Rickman.
Rip Alan Rickman.
So, today we make for the summit. And then load a throne.
Aswa's got a mouthful of food, so.
Seems to be the plan.
Apparently somebody's waiting for us at the summit.
Oh, really? Maybe she's a giant purple lady or something?
That's the one.
Ah, you had the dream too.
What did I do? I didn't have a dream about a giant purple lady. It's just like another time travel thing.
She recognized me, so she showed herself to me right away. Maybe she was somebody different in your dream.
She knocked on my front door and I let her in and we talked.
She tried to be Solomon.
Who?
It didn't go well. My, like, dad, kind of. He's a dick.
My dad was a dick too.
That sucks.
Yeah, I got killed by loan sharks.
What?
Loan sharks. Killed him.
What? Who?
My dad.
Yeah, but what? Why did he have loan sharks after him?
Because he took out a lot of loans.
For what?
Drugs, mostly. Expeditions
Yeah.
on the other side. Well, no, expeditions first, then drugs.
I'm guessing the expeditions did not go well. That's why he needed the drugs.
Snaps his fingers and points at you as he eats another
knew a
another
guy like
spoonful
that.
of egg.
Nara, like, squints, turns to just stare at the wall, still squinting, and just continues eating eggs.
Should have punched him in the nose. That's what you always do whenever a shark comes after you.
Some of them had fairly. Yeah, no, that might have worked, but only for a little. Only for a little.
Just curious, did any of you have dreams about stick bugs last night?
What?
I know we all had dreams about the giant purple lady, but did anybody have dreams about a stick bug?
Wolfgang and Nara history checks. Wolfgang with advantage, I think, because this would be something more in your wheelhouse.
5? No?
What? 5.
Not really ringing a bell. Not like
What's a
bugs
stick
anyway.
Bug?
No, I didn't. I still waking up to dear.
So, I had a dream, vision thing, and I'm going to cast Minor Illusion to create a small crystal ball in my hand, and I'm going to show them what I saw.
As best as you can through the resolution of this tiny crystal ball you have. Denier shows you the miasma, the stick bug, and the, as best as he can remember, the creatures that he saw crawling out, and then the map of the north as this miasma drifts south of Iceforge.
That bug looks like it would make a very pleasing snap sound if you stepped on it.
And this would kind of jar your memory of things that you were told in the future, which is very peculiar to you, Wolfgang, because this wasn't something that was translated in your dream to Denier.
Huh. How'd I miss that?
Wait, miss what?
Me and Denier last night had a
Oh, nice.
a
Good
dream.
job, guys.
dream powwow.
Oh.
What did you...
No,
No.
nothing. Go on.
Anyway, he walked into my dream, and I basically showed him everything we've been through after we made it to Lona Throne.
That makes sense. Showing him in dreams is a lot smarter. You guys did talk about that. Sorry, I got a little distracted with Asmo yesterday.
Nice, says Grabthar.
Asmo just starts coughing on his eggs. Pounding the table.
She very lightly pats his back.
Yep.
Light's sake.
Yeah, it's very confusing that you didn't give him this information, but he has a visual representation of it, especially because you yourself haven't seen the creature in the silhouette. You've only had it described to you.
How did you see that?
So, I have a number of rooms inside of my mind palace. And one has a number of paintings. And when I was doing my usual patrol of my mind palace last night, one of the paintings was different. This was it. Think we need to warn Cold Reach and Frosthelm?
I think if they're not already evacuating, then maybe. Though I think the events that are transpiring in the capital right now are cause enough for alarm.
Above game, just FYI, I'm just curious. Are we planning on ascending to the top of this thing, or are we heading back to Dragon's Rest?
I think we were planning on going to the top.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. Because for my guy, like, he hasn't done this yet, so my guy is just kind of going off because, my guy, Asmo was kind of hesitant to even go into the Feywilds, right? Go anywhere remotely near them, and now we're here, so yeah, okay. Sorry.
And the closer you've gotten, the more creepy, weird magic shit keeps popping up.
To the point where I honestly, I would think about this. How much does Asmo wonder how much magic is fucking with his head right now?
It's quite possible.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of reason.
Especially since everybody literally just started acting differently yesterday.
Everyone just started acting differently, and they said that their memories are from the future now. And and Asmo's like, well, who am I to lie about it? Who am I to haul crap on that? But
that, and on several occasions last night, Nara's weapon tried to kill you.
I know, we all have our problems.
And yet, Asmo is the only one who wasn't affected in the mine last night.
Yeah, no, that one Asmo gets.
I mean, we all
that does track. I mean,
have you met me? I wouldn't advise it. So, when do we start ascending this damn mountain? Today.
Can't think of a better time.
I'm gonna keep scraping down these eggs. Don't look at me when I do this, Nara. It's gross.
What do you mean?
Move on.
I always thought it was cute. Aww.
It's like a lamprey latching onto something.
she's just like,
Adorable.
Build for each other. Well, we should probably get moving quickly. Grabthar, you mentioned a path up the mountain. How long will it take us to reach the summit?
Well, if you wanted to scale it by yourselves, it would probably take you about 2 days, but with my navigation, could probably get there in 1.
beats out last time. Last time we all turned into gorillas. I turned into a gorilla.
Oh,
Yeah,
you do
most
know the
recently.
path.
Is that...
Wait.
I'm kidding. It's way easier to fly.
Well, once everyone's done eating, I think we should saddle up and get moving.
As everybody's getting ready, Daenerys going to cast Sending.
Who to?
The mayor of Coldreach. The man that we helped so long ago.
All right. What are you going to say to the mayor?
Strange warnings. Red mist coming out of Iceforge. Monsters following. Keep your people safe. Warn the others. Gas is going south.
Need to check something. You get no reply.
He looks over towards Wolfgang. No response from Coldreach. It might have already fallen, or he might not be able to reply. He might be asleep, might be dead. I don't know. When I have more time, I'll see about scrying on him.
All right.
Daenerys,
Yes, Nara.
you can do that sending thing to people you've met, right?
Correct.
If I need to talk to Solomon at some point, can we make that happen?
There is a look that appears on Daenerys' face as soon as you say Solomon. That might not be the greatest idea, but perhaps.
Why? What makes you think it's a bad plan?
Because the last time I met him, he was talking about wanting to put Asmo's skin on my bones. And I may or may not have charmed some of his people in order for us to escape.
Actually, the last time you met him was at the War Games.
Very true. My bad. I forgot about that.
Nara,
Then I will take back what I said. Let's just put it like this. I want to stay as low as I possibly can on Solomon's radar.
Yeah. Well,
If it's super necessary, I can help you out, but is there a reason why you want to talk to him? And Daenerys has this kind of scrunched up face, like he kind of doesn't want to mess with Solomon, but he trusts Nara and is willing to help her out.
no, I don't have anything settled yet. There's some stuff I've got to figure out first, but
Yeah, I can't even imagine everything that's going on for you right now.
let's just say that thing you promised, I don't want it to happen. Again.
He gives a nod.
I'm just worried he's got to eat quicker before he might not be able to eat anymore.
Oh my god.
After hearing about your flesh being put on, wrapped around Danir's body.
I'm sure that was just a phrase of speech.
It's probably fine. Nothing to worry about. Grapthar is outside prepping. How about the rest of you? Anything you guys need to prepare?
Danir selected his spells, but he's mostly making sure that everything's ready to go. Let's see. And his communications did not work.
One last thing. Danir.
Yes.
The Jester and Fezziwig. They're both there.
Right?
Be careful when you interact with them. Either of them.
Yeah. I've noticed, Red gets awful chummy with me. I still remember when he kept on trying to convince me to let him help me.
During the war games.
Yeah. During the battle with Vander, he kept screaming at me that you are all going to die if I didn't let him help me, if I didn't say yes.
But you didn't say yes. We're all still here.
Technically speaking.
He just sort of like mouth flattens a bit.
I mean,
God.
I'm not exactly wrong. I mean, you're you, but you're not you at the same time.
I'm not your you.
Well, you're
Not
definitely
your
not
me.
my you, because my you is probably trying to chase down Nidhogg at this point. Because I remember him and T-Wig and Yorick leaving the city.
This is just a really crazy, obscure version of Who's on First.
Oh my god.
You who? What? No, that's the pitcher.
Third base.
Whatever happened to your you?
Guys fucking abandoned him.
Where is everybody? I was waiting for adventure. I
He
assumed
made-
they would contact me.
He made it to the cave, made it to Solomon's Hollow. It's just abandoned. Nobody ever shows back up. I'm very confused.
Oh no.
Hello. Hello. Oh. Slowly wanders
freezing
back.
my
Slowly wanders back to. Actually, in all honesty, on his way there, he probably came across Asmo walking to dig his own grave. It just followed him.
God.
Damn.
I mean, it is nice of him.
Being future you is suffering.
Not anymore. That's for someone else to deal with.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have an opportunity to talk with him.
All right.
Asma pops out beside Wolfgang.
All right, so Wolfgang, you gone up this thing before and you turned into a gorilla?
Yeah. He
The
points
hell
over at
is a
Nara.
gorilla? I don't know what that is. What's a gorilla?
It's a big monkey.
Like a bigger, hairier version of Wolfgang.
Oh my god.
Technically a great ape.
What's so great about it?
It's big.
Should have gone to Great Ape Island. I hate Great Ape Island of all the Great Apes. We should have gone to Candy Apple Island.
What's there?
Apes, but they're not so big.
Apes, but they're not as big.
And snakes.
God, classic Simpsons is great.
Yeah, classic.
We're sending you to Monster Island. Don't worry, it's just a name being chased by Gamera. I thought they said it was just a name. Technically, it's a peninsula.
Technically, it's a peninsula. Good shit.
All right.
When you mentioned the giant stick bug, speaking of giant apes, I thought about Skull Island, the movie Skull Island, with all the giant fucking creatures on that thing, and that giant bug thing that killed that dude.
Yeah,
you know the one I'm talking about. That's like the grossest part of the entire movie, in my opinion.
The things with like the really long bamboo legs.
Dude, the giant stick bugs.
Yeah.
Right. Just giant battle bugs.
So as you see Grabthar prepping, the fastest way up is technically flight. Unless you can climb really quick.
We tried that, and climbing wasn't as quick as what you suggested.
He, from his bag, Nara, this will look kind of familiar to you, he pulls out a broom of flying.
Okay. Hey, I have one of those. Kind of. Mine's just a stick.
Yeah, your pixie stick.
And that leaves myself, Asmo, and Denier.
The name, don't wear it out.
Wait, can I make... Polymorph can only be creatures of what again? Let me look at that.
They have to be beasts.
Can only be beasts.
Beasts. Oh, okay. Never mind. I was really hoping for Dread Wyvern Gang.
I could always make you like a mountain goat.
I'm not sure how well I'd be able to keep up.
No, I'm not saying you would. I just think it'd be funny to watch.
She like secretly fist bumps
Asmo. Up eggs.
Wolfgang and Nara.
George W. laugh.
There's a... Wolfgang and Nara, make me an intelligence check.
Oh, yeah.
8.
3.
I'm not helping.
What?
I'm intelligence.
7.
So, Grabthar, quick question for you. How far up do you have to go until, like, flying is no longer an option?
As long as this thing will carry me, as long as you stay close to the mountain. You should be okay, as long as there's a surface beneath you.
Okay, I got you. Lani, I cast Summon Fae.
Which Fae do you summon?
My pixie.
Ah. Floating out from the ether. Orange Blossom, I believe, is your pixie.
Correct.
Oh. Well, hello there.
Good afternoon.
It's
Well, good
morning
morning.
out this way, I believe.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Time in this place has been just all kinds of strange.
Yeah, you've been gone for a few months.
Months.
Since we've seen you anyway. Old man came by and helped us with our rune, and, well, everything's better down there. Oh, your friend, the Red Cap, he's decided to stick around. Decided he wanted to be the boss of the guards.
He's still got the, he puts up a hand to his forehead and shows a single finger to mimic the ebon rod inside of Whumperstump's head.
It's in the process of being removed, but it's not really improving his candor much. He's friendly enough, just very loud, rather obnoxious, and he drinks more than any of us combined.
I mean,
Good old Kimberton Wumperstump.
kind of
Won't let us forget the name.
Even though he forgets.
Well, he never forgets his name, I'll tell you that as many. Just
About the
needs to
only
be
thing he
reminded
remembers.
where he is and what he's doing. Once he's stuck to a task for a while, he seems to stick with it a bit, which is why he insists that he is the boss of the guards. And so what can I do you for?
Well, we've got quite a trek ahead of us vertically. He looks up, and I was wondering if you would be so willing as to assist us with some flight, because I don't know how to fly.
Oh, I suppose I could help you manage that. I could sprinkle you with a little bit of dust and help you fly up there yourselves, as long as I'm sticking with you.
Yeah,
How long does Summon Fae last?
An hour.
Ah,
Oh boy.
It's the same amount of time as polymorph.
oh, I can help you as long as I can stick around, really, but for that amount of time, may as well get started, I suppose. And he casts Fly on the members that aren't... Well, he's going to cast Fly on the members that aren't going to be turned into something.
I'm gonna do the flying thing. Thank you.
You hate flying.
Yeah, I don't want to be turned into something, though. That always feels weird.
Fine.
I'm very aware when I'm not the thing anymore, that I'm no longer it, and it just freaks me out. Anyways, fine.
Did you just make more of these? And she holds up the pixie stick.
No, if you have too many of those, you will never come down.
Wait, no, I mean... Daenerys' friend. Little fly friend.
Looks around the rocky, mountainous area you're on. I don't see many sticks around here in an enchantment of that level. It takes quite a while to sink in permanently.
Oh. Well then, never mind, and let's get going.
All
I'll
right.
make sure that orange blossom stays close. You know, fit him into a pocket if I need to.
He casts Fly on Wolfgang, Daenerys, and Asmo, and on the Pixie Stick and Grapthar's Broom of Flying, you guys begin taking off up the mountain. About an hour later, you begin to slow down and need to find a place to rest. You can tell that this is going to be the part that takes a while to really figure things out, so I will... as you guys land and rest in order for Daenerys to potentially resummon Orange Blossom, Wolfgang and Nara can both give me an intelligence check again.
Okay.
18.
7.
As you land, Nara, it comes across your mind that you hadn't remembered whether or not like Little Ass had enough food, and then as you look down into the parallax, you realize that is a space that is rife for any living creature to stay in.
Oh. Hey, so I just came up with probably the best plan out of everyone ever in the world.
Honk. Sorry. What?
Wow, some deja vu happening there, huh? So I have this.
And Nara holds up the parallax.
you guys could just play with Lil Ass and I can fly us up.
I'm pretty sure if I did that, I'd get in trouble.
No, I said it was... Oh. No, you still wouldn't. It'd be fine. Blink, blink.
Grapthar just standing there, sipping from a flask. Nice.
Side of the mountain is no time to get hormonal.
Who's... He's gonna go play with the... Our
Did you say...
son.
Sorry, I can't hear over the wind. Did you say pheromonal?
Are you getting in the parallax or not?
It'd probably be a best idea. Nair.
How?
Oh, I just will you in there. That's it. It's like a big old bag of holding.
Like a big old bag of holes.
But we can breathe in there, right?
Oh, yeah. Lil Ass has been eating little crabs in there for a while now.
Ugh, that probably smells awful.
It's not, as far as I remember. It's big. Just go in and look.
Daenerys leans forward and looks after Orange Blossom disappears.
You look in there. There is a little Chronosaur, kind of like curled up, kind of like a little bean taking a nap.
And,
See his tail slowly flick.
Because Nara thinks that that's Daenerys' desire to go in, she immediately wills him to go in, so he'll just fall right in.
The further you lean in, Daenerys, you can kind of like feel your face stretching, and you see the image before you expand and expand until you feel yourself standing on the grassy field within. The wind kind of like blows around you gently. It feels like a very nice, temperate day. Though, yes, there is definitely the smell of animal waste nearby.
How many of the crabs are dead?
Most of them have been digested.
Mm.
And you don't see any living crabs near you.
Okay.
But there is a kind of a baby tyrannosaur just kind of sleeping nearby.
Given his interactions with the Chronosaur, Daenerys going to the other side of the area, and he's
as you begin to.
That's right. She doesn't
you
even really warn him.
Yeah, you start to walk about. You start to walk away. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you do so.
Okie doke. 22.
You manage to avoid all of the little Chronosaur landmines, kind of scattered around this area. And you notice that as you walk away, he starts to kind of disappear over horizon, and as you turn around the other way, you start to see him sneaking up around the other side of the horizon.
Interesting. So, like, if I just keep on walking, I can bypass him. This is basically like a King Kai's planet.
Yep, just a tiny little planetoid inside this little necklace, or this little amulet on Nara's neck.
Nara will notice the little landmines and kind of hold it up over the side of the mountain and will all the poops to fly out.
Daenerys, you start to see the poop fly into the sky, just like 8 to 10 little dino curls of poop just start to, as if being willed to the heavens by God himself. The rapture of poop happens, and from your perspective, yeah, the poop rapture. And as you're like kind of shaking it upside down, just one after another of these, God, I guess they'd be about the size of, like, some of them are probably small enough to be about the size of your fist. Some of them he made when he was larger, so would be about the size of your torso, just blap, 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 just all over the ground beneath your feet.
That is one big pile of shit.
I found a way.
Off the list.
And this is happening into the time mist. So this is going to be happening forever.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be raining poop.
The forever poop.
Pooping back and forth forever.
Forever.
Oh no, I forgot all about that, and it was better that way.
It's a hell of a moment.
At least it's not vomit.
Yeah.
See, Wolfgang, I cleaned it all out, so you can just go in there.
And she's even gonna like plop another food ration in there because that was a lot of poop.
Just a ration?
Yeah, for little ass to eat.
All right. Drop a little beef jerky in there, and Denier, between you and the sleeping Chronosaur, you see as a little chunk of beef jerky just plop, clack, clack onto the ground, and you see the Chronosaur's tail twitch and his nose begin to twitch as it stands up and looks over.
Denier is slowly edging away from it.
It begins to walk towards you. Its head kind of like cocks to the side. Its tail begins to wiggle a little bit. And then as it sniffs, as it gets between, like, kind of just between where it was and where you are, it sniffs again and then looks to the ground and starts gnawing on the jerky on the ground.
I'm going to watch this thing warily. A black wand in my hand as I watch this thing. How tall is the area like around? Is there a visible dome, or is it just
as you look up, you see the giant faces of Nara, Asmo, and Wolfgang looking down at you. It's kind of horrifying, but also kind of mildly amusing.
That's what the big version of me's doing.
Gang, you should probably go in there. I just realized Denier doesn't really remember little ass.
Right.
She
Don't drop
wheels him
us.
inside.
Let's go. Wolfgang, you find yourself standing next to Denier. Denier, Wolfgang just kind of like a liquid just kind of like poured into himself.
Oh, boy.
You feel a little lightheaded whenever you come in here. You notice that. It's just like this weird transfiguration you have to go through.
Watch out for the flying poop.
The what?
The flying poop.
He just ducks and like looks around.
The land itself is pretty barren aside from the grass, little ass, and you two. There's nothing else in here presently. As little ass finishes up his jerky, he now takes notice of you guys again and starts walking towards you.
Boy.
You guys should get in there for the introductions.
And she'll just will Asmo and Grabthar in.
Grabthar has his own means of transportation, and he is your guide.
Oh yeah, that does make sense. Never mind.
Asmo, do you allow yourself to fall into the parallax?
Well, I'm assuming if I didn't go along with it, it would be bad, so yeah.
All right. Asmo, you feel yourself being stretched and pulled into... And you find yourself standing on a grassy field with a very giant Nara staring down at you.
Ah!
And then you look down, and there is a Chronosaur in your face sniffing you.
The hell is going? What the magic?
That's... He's kind
They can't hear you.
Yeah, you're cutting
He's
out.
still gonna do it.
All right. So Grabthar's just kind of standing there holding his broom. So shall we?
sounds good to me.
I hate magic. Ugh.
All right. For the next 5 hours, Nara and Grabthar are flying, and you guys are in there with little ass who is. Let's see.
What?
Hour 1. He is bored and rowdy. He is constant, like he turns into kind of an adolescent Chronosaur, and it's just kind of like running towards each of you and just like headbutting you, not trying to hurt you by any not trying to kill you, but is knocking you over and is finding great amusement in it. So he's just spending his time chasing you.
Son's a werewolf. Probably have to figure out a way to work off all that energy eventually.
So the lot of you can give me either athletics checks or acrobatics checks of your choosing.
Oh boy.
I'll go with athletics.
Acrobatics it is. Oh, I don't need
No,
one.
not
what the
you.
fuck am
You're
I
fine.
doing?
Natural
I thought I was
20,
needed
baby.
with it. Oh my god.
14.
22.
I double click, but I'll take that nat 20.
20, I bet.
Yeah. Wolfgang, you are the first one to kind of get like bowled over, but Denier, you're able to kind of avoid it fairly well. Asmo, he is incredibly amused by you, as you're able to kind of like deftly dodge out of the way every time he comes like charging at you. He finds chasing you to be the most amusing thing in the world. That and you smell very much like his mother.
Father? No!
Begins chasing you. You actually manage to like get up on his neck at one point, like just on his back. And thus begins hour 2.
Making pug sounds the whole time.
Oh my god.
Is it possible for me to summon the tower in here? Or is
certainly, especially as hour 2, as Asmo has kind of like ridden little ass for a while, rode that ass to sleep as it begins to kind of like curl up and just kind of like falls asleep under Asmo.
So while Asmo is quote unquote riding that ass, Daenerys going to summon the tower and disappear inside.
Said the thing.
All right, Asmo, as the Chronosaur has fallen asleep in its larger form, riding the dinosaur was kind of enthralling.
Works
But now
smarter, not harder.
it's asleep, and you can just kind of like slide off. Wolfgang, you two are able to enter the tower and just hang out for a while.
A hitch post out back for the dinosaurs.
Yeah, so everybody just goes and chills in the tower for a bit. Yep, Nara's going to be flying with Grapthar for 5 hours to get to the summit.
I'm the one doing all the hard work.
Hey, are you guys worried about if Nara's okay?
You are able to look up and see the look on Nara's face. And Nara, you probably find some amusement in looking down and watching them play with little ass for that first hour.
Yeah. Giant face of Nara as God, staring down, being like,
Aw, they're playing.
All right, hour 2, little ass is sleeping. Hour 3. Did you all end up just going into the tower? What'd you guys end up doing for that hour?
Daenerys is in the tower at the very top of where the observatory is.
Well, then you'd be the first to notice the Chronosaur beginning to wander over as it wakes up, wondering where all of his friends went. Begins stomping over. At his full-grown size, I think the tower is still taller than him. So you see him like looking up at you, just kind of like wiggling his tail.
Asmo, he's awake.
Oh my god, I didn't even get this, pet. This is Nara, who's not even here. God, I'll be right out.
Wanders over to you, just starts sniffing you.
All right, what do you want? You want food? You want food?
I just grab a quick.
His eyes widen as you say food, and his tail starts to swish.
I remember what Futurama taught me, and I hold out the meat with my hands flat. Otherwise, my hands will be eaten.
Give me an animal handling.
No, I'm gonna use what's the highest number I got? My stealth.
Gonna stealth the food into him.
Yes.
You can be animal handling with advantage. This animal is friendly with you.
Lil ass loves you.
Jan can shoot 14.
He shrinks a little bit. You're just offering him some jerky.
Alright, here you go. You jerky.
He shrinks down to about adolescent size, so he only stands about 5 feet above you. And he kind of wiggles his tail as he opens his mouth, ready to try to catch it. You toss it. You see him chewing at it. And as he gets it caught in his teeth, he just kind of looks at you, gives a little happy snort, and starts to wander away to eat it.
Mm-hmm. Works out that way. All right, well, I didn't mess it up.
And Daenerys calls down, the next time he gets active again, I've got an idea for a little bit of amusement, but you're gonna have to trust me.
I didn't trust you at this point.
Daenerys, you get to I let you hang out around me when I'm asleep. How much more trust must you have?
Well, you're
Fair
lucky.
enough.
Well, you're lucky, because after he's done kind of wandering around the area, he does tend to stick around the tower with you guys, but he starts getting a bit more rambunctious again in the next hour.
I cast Polymorph on Asmo to turn him into a T-Rex.
While he's in the tower?
No,
No, don't do that.
Well, Asmo, you can make a wisdom save to not do it, I
I was
guess.
going to say, what are you doing? Don't. Wisdom save. I don't want that.
Asmo outside and is like, hey, stand still.
Okay, against your will, you become a T-Rex. And you are now.
I'm gonna do that thing in The Simpsons where Homer's doing that, Stampy's doing the headbutting. He's gonna headbutt the fucking tower.
You are now the mighty Asmosaurus, and the little ass is. Actually, this is going to be very interesting because you.
Arms.
Oh
I feel
dear.
like Asmo would try and cross his arms, but it doesn't go well.
Uh-oh.
Lil Ass takes this as a bit of a territory dispute with that Nat 1.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
And kind of roars the loudest not the mama at you. And starts to kind of charge at you as you're a T-Rex.
I would like to El Toro.
You wish to dodge.
Now, how big are a T-Rex's arms? I wish to put him in a sleeper hold to get him to calm down. Okay?
That ain't gonna.
Oh my god, that's a bad plan.
That's probably not going to work.
Gas sleep. All
right. I can't do it.
Oh my god!
What's happening? I don't see anything.
Can I get a T-Rex's stat sheet?
Oh my god.
I can find one. 5, because it's weaker than the Chronosaur.
Oh, buddy.
I'll just say with your stats, give me an initiative roll, Asmo.
Okay. 19.
You are faster than Little Ass. But
I
he
don't want to
is.
fight him, so how do I do non-lethal shut the fuck up damage?
You can run.
Okay, I'm running.
Or you can just slap him a bunch with your tail, but I don't think any of that is non-lethal.
Is he
gonna is he gonna be headbutting my guy's thigh and stuff
He's going at you as if you are a competitor in his territory. Basically,
run. Try and escape the territory.
Yeah, I guess my guy's just gonna, try and run away without falling off the cliff and dying.
There is no cliff. This is just this is a planetoid.
Oh.
It's King Kai planet, kind of.
I'm sorry, I'm very confused because I thought we were we went on this King Kai planet and then we teleported to the mountain we're climbing.
No,
I'm very confused where we are right now. Then I need you to explain to me where we are right now because I completely misunderstood it.
Nara is flying up the mountain right now. You are in an extra-dimensional space inside of a locket around Nara's neck, which is a tiny planetoid containing Lil Ass.
Oh, then I'm just gonna run in circles forever then.
Yeah, you're basically in a Pokeball with a King Kai planet inside.
So
okay, my guy's just gonna.
Yeah, as you run in one direction, Lil Ass is going to teleport in front of you to start charging you from that direction.
ah, and just then my guy's just gonna be constantly running away until the magic runs out.
So that happens for an hour.
How big is little ass?
Full grown.
Ah, massive.
Yeah, bigger than the T-Rex. Well, actually, no, they're both huge. So, yeah. I guess with that, go ahead and give me a T-Rex's athletics would be strength plus, or would be a D20 plus 7, I believe. So
Strength is Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, T-Rex is a plus 7.
Like 25 plus 7.
Yeah, plus 7 is the modifier.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and 20 plus 7. I'll roll that for you. Okay, and little ass. Not much better, but better. You do get beaten up a bit as the T-Rex.
Oh no.
As you're trying not to fight back. But eventually the polymorph wears off in that hour, and you have effectively tired out little ass again.
Good job, buddy.
I'm just imagining Asma just I did it. Tired him out. A lot of energy.
As polymorph wears off and little ass is about to like go down, and he like sniffs you. Then just kind of like flumps down to the ground. And then just being tired out starts to drift off into slumber again, and you wander back into the tower.
Good job, Asmo.
Just gives a thumbs down like he's lying in the bathroom drunk. Exhausted. Peter in the Family Guy pose.
Yeah.
And because Nara has now, she watched for like the first hour because it was new and exciting that they're all in the parallax, but now she's kind of like took in the scenery for a while, and we're on what, hour 3, right?
You're partway through hour 4 at this point.
Oh, okay, yeah. So she'd probably be chatting up Grabthar about hunting stuff at this point, asking for pointers and hunting and tracking since they have that in common, seeing if she can learn anything new.
He would let you know he's actually a terrible hunter. He's just really good at magical artifacts and archaeology, basically.
An artificer.
Anything she can glean from that?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
7.
You guys don't really have much in common on that ground.
It's very hard to talk to.
Yeah, you have hunted and killed your entire life. He is, relatively a pacifist. He kind of runs from most battles he ends up in. Which is why he got eaten and did not end up fighting the Chronosaur.
So the whole time she's like, so you're like a hunter and tracker, right?
Not really, no. Really so what's that like?
Yeah.
So you don't hunt. You kind of stumble around places and just find stuff.
I track things down. I'm good at finding artifacts and magical items of the sort. The overgrowth is just full of them. During the Exodus, elves, you would have got extremely bored by this conversation, but at least it's white noise to listen to as you're flying.
She's just like, you haven't killed anyone?
Not once!
Drifts quietly.
All right, you finally make it close to the summit.
All right, we can land down that way, though. Sorry, I'd love to continue that story, but you seem so enthralled.
No, it's totally... I'm so fine if we stop now. It would be fine if we stopped now.
You got an insight of 2, so he thinks you're he thinks you're being honest, or thinks you're just being coy, and that you would have loved to have heard more.
Of course, I would have.
Well, later then. I'm sure there'll be time in Lona Throne. Down there is a great place to land.
Okay, great.
She'll, as if the pixie stick could move faster, she gets down there and starts like shaking everyone out of the parallax as fast as possible to get anyone else to talk to.
Anybody who's in the tower starts getting violently thrust up into the ceiling.
Oh! After Asmo just finally lays down for a second.
Yeah, Asmo like goes in to lay down after settling little ass to sleep for the umpteenth time. Lays down on the couch. Wham! Ceiling. Wham! Ceiling. Wham! Ceiling.
Oh no!
No rest for Asmo.
Well, this isn't that a unique of an experience. We've all flown along the Gulf Coast of Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Eventually, Denier despawns the tower, and all of you end up at the summit. Wolfgang and Nara, go ahead and make me a survival check as you're sitting amongst the summit, as there's a oddly familiar scent in the air.
Nat 20, 22.
I am rolling.
19, 20 ran.
Those particular fruits that you remember, they're around here, and you can smell their smelly smells in the air.
Smelly
Hey.
smells. Smelly.
I should get some of these for the baby.
She'll snag a couple and put them in her bag.
Now, they're about the size of a papaya.
Wonder what a dinosaur likes.
Oh, I have to get him some of that, yum berry?
Yum berries.
Yum berry.
That's what I was referring to. I wonder what his favorite flavors are.
Oh. Probably dead, bloody stuff. Like his
Like you.
mama. Yeah.
And as
Does
you fall...
Asmo or Denier notice those two just messing around with these bushes?
Yeah, you're able to see these fruits that they're, like, picking.
Are we still... I thought we were still inside the locket.
No,
We got pulled out.
Oh, sorry. I must be
After
missing...
you've been...
sorry, I feel like I'm missing, like, just the part where... Sorry, I'm so sorry.
You're all good, dude. Yeah, Nara landed and you guys are out of the lockets and you're on the path to the summit as evening is starting to encroach.
Here it is, Denier. Beginning of your fruit empire.
Between the two of you with those rolls, you were able to find 5 fruits.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
Nara.
3 for Nara, 2 for Wolfgang.
Oh, dang. All right.
Eat 2
He's got like
yum
5 now.
berries.
Jeez-o. How,
Each of
based
the-
on the experience of when Denier ate it before, how much should she cut off to give to Lil Ass to keep him full for a while but not overwhelm him?
Each of those fruits is basically like a full day's worth of food for whatever consumes it. Once you cut it, it starts to rot fairly quickly, though.
Okay,
So, like,
okay,
within the
okay.
day, it needs to be consumed.
Okay, so that's like a whole day's worth of food for one person.
Yeah, one being. It's basically they're kind of
Okay.
like a sensu bean without the massive healing property.
Okay, so it'd be better for her to like give bits over the course of a day rather than the whole fruit at once, right?
I mean, the fruit the whole fruit at once would sate it for a day. It's the whole fruit
okay.
itself is considered a day's ration.
I just remember Denier having a terrible time because he like threw up unending blue fruit before.
It was because I was going up the mountain and it was a failed constitution check.
Yep.
Oh, that's why. Okay, cool.
Yep. The path up here should lead to Tyrithul.
Oh, that's good to hear. Do we have to be put into a ring or something at that point, or like what?
No? I
Why
don't
are
think
you
so,
so
unless she's
winded?
changed things.
You just sat for like 5 hours.
Not exactly.
Well, you were playing for like a minute, but
Denier is such a swell fella, such a great friend. we're sitting around, just vibing, and he goes, it'd be funny.
What's a vibe?
I don't know anymore.
Okay. What was
We're
funny?
sitting there hanging out, and he turned me into what a little ass is. And I had to run away from little ass for about an hour straight, so he's gonna sleep well tonight.
What? Oh, you two are playing. You'll have to do it again later.
I assume you're saying this while you're following Grapthar up the path.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is just the conversation while we follow.
As you turn the corner to the summit, two of you see a familiar form as you walk up to the very peak of the mountain. The, sorry. The gaunt face and, massive body of the storm giantess who serves as the gatekeeper to Lona Throned.
Was she always gaunt?
Her face was fairly gaunt. Her
Okay.
body is full and powerful. She's in her hand she wields a massive plume.
Nara's like, hey! Waves.
She glances down and is very much like she's been awaiting this, but she is still concerned by the presence of you and Wolfgang. She takes note of Grapthar, and her eyes, kind of like cast over him. 3 of you have been through here before, it would seem. 2 wear the badge of Arcanos himself.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Forgot about that. That's good, right? That's a good thing?
After conversing with your companion, the Dreamwalker, I am inclined to believe your intentions are pure. I offer you entry to Lona Throne, but know this. If you act impurely within its boundaries, your lives are forfeit.
Woohoo.
She brings the feather up into the air, and Grapthar, oh, here it goes. As she swings it down, you guys begin flying up into the sky. A massive gale force wind carrying you higher and higher towards the rocks that float above. And while you remember floating into a very particular rock with a puzzle inside the first time, this time you fly towards a different rock. And as you fly upward higher and higher towards this highest teetering rock, you see on the inside this moat of chaos that the winds carry you directly into. As if a direct passage. You fly through, feeling your body being pulled. And then you see yourself falling to a serene, vibrant green land beneath you. Wolfgang and Nara, a familiar lake, seems set to break your fall as you splash into its surface.
Oh.
Welcome to the Feywild.
We're back.
What? No, I haven't been here.
Oh,
no.
right. Sorry. First time for you.
Grapthar surfaces from the water. Right into the nymph pool! Asmo,
No.
a water sprite, kind of like careens out of one of the orifices on your mouth. Yeah, baby!
I think we should leave him to
We're gonna have to cancel him when we get back. Yeah.
whatever he wants.
Yes.
I just
All right, to each their own. I'll see you at the city. Come on, nymphs!
He splashes back into the water.
I'm worried about him, but anyways, moving on.
As you guys carry yourself out of the water and shake free all the nymphs that are clinging to you.
With his.
You begin to wander out of the forest and into a massive open field clearing, stretching nearly as far as the eye can see, look to be vineyards, each growing very bright colored fruits. And kind of speckled along this path that you're wandering are guard towers with soldiers each wearing that white form-fitted plate mail that you had seen previously on the science officers, the researchers in the mists. This was a very long time ago, so chronologically speaking. Traveling down the path, you see Nara and Wolfgang see the familiar sight of the white obelisk, the entrance to Lona Throned.
My God.
Asmo's just taking this all in because he's never seen this before.
Yeah, the sky itself is a cerulean blue, barely a cloud to be seen, and the sun appears to be trailed by a second smaller sun. And it doesn't seem to, streak across the sky so much. It just sits in one place, but then you notice that second sun, it's ebbing closer and closer, isn't a sun so much as it is what appears to be just kind of like a luminous rock. And as it gets closer to the sun, as you guys get closer to the obelisk, you notice that this rock is what transitions day to night here, as it starts to get a little darker as the rock itself begins to cover up the sun. You get there as it's just kind of cresting over the edge of the sun. As you approach the obelisk.
Oh, that thing.
It's going to sound like an odd question. What is the temperature that distinctly different here?
It is a very pleasant, kind of, in Fahrenheit, I'd say 67, 68 degrees. I think in Celsius, that's somewhere between, what's a nice day to you in Celsius?
Canadian,
20
degrees is a Canadian.
I was gonna say somewhere between 17 and 20 degrees Celsius.
Okay, 20 degrees air. The wind is 25 degrees though.
But as you approach the obelisk, a voice emits from it. Travelers to Lona Throne, present genetic code. Present genetic sample. And a spike begins to protrude forth. Just kind of it stops a safe distance away from you.
Can you take my hair instead? Does it have to be blood?
Present genetic code.
I'll just pluck out a piece of my hair and present it.
As you touch the hair to the spike, it kind of spins and tightens the hair around it, and then it comes back out.
Cool.
I'll give it a bit of fur that might so happen to have some, still have some pixie dust on it.
Pluck some fur, and once again, as soon as you touch the hair to it, just kind of winds up real quick and then pulls it in. Spike presents itself again.
Asmo just takes one of those spare knives and just a little part of his just forearm, and all right. Does it just kind of wipes a little bit of the blood, the knife on with the blood on it?
Does that work? Is that what he wants?
As you touch the blood to it, the blood kind of sinks in, and the red material of your blood seeps inward on the material, and it just it becomes pure white again as the spike sucks back in and comes back out.
Nara's all arms crossed, staring at it. Stares at the obelisk and is like, oh yeah, this fucking city. Just spits on it.
It accepts it and shoop. Ding ding. Welcome to
good
Lone
for you.
Athroned. As the obelisk begins to grow and part, a portal begins to appear, and you see before you a pathway to what looks to be a beautiful, bustling promenade of Lone Athroned, and you are now down here, and Ramses is no longer there, so give me a moment. I have not altered this since... Blah. There we go.
Kill him! Ramses is here!
I beat you here!
Gosh!
And as each of you enter one after the other, you see a bunch of like stunned elven faces looking at you. Each person dressed in a manner that you are unaccustomed to. Their form-fitting clothes seems very tapered. The material itself almost synthetic in nature. Everything almost looks like it's made out of some sort of like kind of shiny silk, but it looks durable, like denim or cotton, as it clings to their form. And Nara, as you walk through the gate, and dozens of Archie orbs begin to sunder down out of the obelisk and surround the four of you. Godslayer detected. Godslayer detected. Godslayer detected. Godslayer
what?
detected.
It didn't react to me. What the heck?
And here
What?
is where we will end today's session.